the Dollar Tree and picked up a stand. This is the case of she probably went somewhere really reputable, and these guys are getting away with murder, making products that don't do what they're supposed to do.
I got them from Guitar Center.
Okay, shout out. Pro Line at Guitar Center, not good stands.
No, I don't know why they can't stand themselves. Maybe I'm missing something, maybe like a sandbag, but yeah, I'm using one of my favorite ashtrays. We can't ash in it. And this, I don't know if you noticed, I set designed red really pops. Beautiful. So I wanted a pop of red.
Where did you get that? That's wonderful.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
I got, I looked on Home Union and they had something similar. And then I reverse Google searched and I got it for a steal.
Good, see?
Mm-hmm.
Take
two. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
To Long-Winded. Can I hear it from the guest?
Welcome back to Long-Winded with your returning guest, take two, Robby Hoffman. I did wear the same thing because I wasn't sure if we would acknowledge that we had to stop recording because I brought up real logistical moving concerns.
Yeah, definitely, which is an ongoing conversation. Something that we've talked about is a lot of these concerns of ours. It's okay to not figure it out right then and there. Sometimes it's going to take 2 or 3 revisits over a period of months, maybe. And that's okay.
I'm also a lot more rested today.
Oh, good. Well, how should we start? Should we talk about us and how we're doing good?
Oh,
would you say?
Well, what would you say?
I think so. Yeah, I think we're getting better at having these tough conversations, and we're really getting good at the coming back together.
Gabby loves. I think you're more scared of like what I mean by tough conversations, anything logistical, anything money, anything that like could be perceived as a fight. But then what she loves even more so, and we do have the conversation, credit to us.
And it's okay to say that
the
sometimes it's a fight. I mean, I don't think
also too.
Yeah,
but what
it's not like we're screaming at each other. Like
no, exactly. Just like literally a discussion, which some people do not. They will move in having not discussed the logistics of the move-in. Like it's... And then they'll discover everything on the fly. Like rent will be due and they'll be like, or hydro or whatever, utilities. And they haven't discussed any of it.
What do you mean hydro? Water bill?
Yeah, sorry, Montreal. But yeah, but then what Gabby loves the most is like right after like a discussion that could be boring, could be heated, could be logistical, could be stuff, your relationship, you really like would rather just cuddle all the time, but stuff that needs to get done. She's then like so lovey-dovey.
I love the repair.
It's kind of like you love the conversation, and then you're like, it's this weird thing where you're like the loveliest.
No, it's not weird. I just like to know that we make it. You earned your geesey. I'm gonna give you a
if
geesey.
I get the wordle right. She goes, you earned your geesey.
She gets the word right in the wordle. Then she earned her kissy. And it works for us. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's weird. I think it's like it's instant gratification to know that we can go through the hardest moment, me trying to have an argument against you at all. Oh. No, not. I mean, it's a testament to how good of a debater you are, really. Oh. It's no easy feat.
You're a very good talker, too. I find like we're both like really smart.
Yeah, of course.
With conversations. I never feel like something you say is like out of left field wrong. Like it's just
thank you.
Always a different perspective, but I never feel like you're crazy.
Yes. Sometimes I feel like you're crazy.
Yeah, okay. Which I am.
Yeah.
But it's like it drives me nuts when people aren't like speaking the same language at all. Like you're not even using the same like words to form sentences. Like one is speaking literally.
It's like, who am I arguing with? Like, are we communicating? And sometimes it's like, this is exactly like arguing with a toddler. Oh. And I cannot, not with you, but with partners in general. One time we had that when you knew you had a bad idea.
And I said, I did the bad thing where I said, I was almost going to say this in our discussion and I didn't. And then I was like, do you want to know what I was going to say in that discussion? And she was like, literally no.
I said, no, take it to the grave. I do not want to know. Like
I could not tell her.
There's actually not one bit of curiosity in my mind when someone's like, I know you're not going to like this. Do you hear it anyway? It's like, or do you want to hear it anyway? It's like, no, actually, no. I don't even want to be baited. It's
No.
totally, I love to live in ignorance.
She
If you have something to say, it does not concern me. And I said no, and she said it anyway. And that's when I was like, I actually cannot tell you how bad this argument is. And then we moved on. I was like, I can't entertain this.
The only real argument we had was the one thing I didn't say that I ended up saying after, like, hey, this is a point I thought of. And by the way, none of these are ever insults or whatever. If that's what people are saying, like, we don't use insulting. We're not like fighters like that. I think it'll be like, oh, would you cover water and I'll cover internet? We'll bring up good points about this. It's never like, I think people assume when people are having discussions, people get ugly or whatever. We talk like this.
Yeah.
It's just we don't get to, it's more logistical and it feels like wider relationship. But you do have to do all the hardware of your relationship
You do. I would hate to honestly never fight because then that would almost feel like avoidance. Like I think just naturally the hardest part about a relationship is two completely different people
coming together.
Yeah, and everyone is so different. I mean, even the fact that like it's like whatever, we watch TV, we see a lot of people in the world, and I'm like, oh my God, no two people look exactly alike. I know they say you do, like whatever, there's some kind of fraction or like ratio, but I'm like, not that I've ever seen, and I think that's wild. I feel like more people should actually look alike.
I know. I think there's like 6 faces in the world. But anyway.
But it seems, I don't.
Yeah, no, there's probably thousands.
Yeah, that just doesn't seem
millions.
right. But yeah, and then it's like a relationship is taking those very different people, like different nature, different nurture, and trying to make it work. It seems impossible because I'm like, I feel like I'm the most rational person on the planet. You feel like you're the most rational. And then sometimes when we come together, you think the other is completely irrational. But it does. It speaks to a lot of things. Like,
yeah, I never think you're irrational. Though, but I can be irrational because I'm a very I think it's cultural, but anyway, I can be pretty dramatic in my in my defense, but
yeah,
I'm always like, I think culturally speaking, we're different a bit, but I think value-wise and all, like the foundational is there. So it's like when we have to like go through a logistical thing of like, are we going to live in this neighborhood or that neighborhood? Like your reasons for living in this neighborhood or that neighborhood. I'm never like, ugh, but I'm really passionate and dramatic about why I want to live in the neighborhood. So I come in with a certain passion and you do, but you come in with a rationale. I never feel like you're crazy. It's funny that you mentioned the difference of like how you, when you thought you were talking to a toddler, there was a Reddit recently. As everybody knows, I'm a Reddit head, last bastion of the free internet, where people run amok and wild.
I love Reddit for different reasons. I love skincare over 30. Gonna do my own at-home chemical peel. Get ready. Oh. You're not gonna like that. My face is gonna
gizzy. It's like when she's wearing her LED light mask, and she has a hole. She looks like the devil. Like it's literally red light. And she's through the mask. Come get your gizzy. And you know what?
Gizzy.
I get my gizzy.
And she always comes to get her kissy.
I'm not.
Because she knows what she wants.
I'm not missing an opportunity for a kissy.
No, but apparently you can do an at-home chemical peel. I have some sunspots on my forehead.
What are you talking about?
I want to get rid of them, but I'm going to shed like you've never seen. So I have to lock myself up for 3 to 7 days, and I've never been more excited. Like that finally I have an excuse to be who I want to be, which is inside.
Perfect. Monday, are you available for dinner?
I don't know. I'll have to check later.
Okay, just check right now just so I know before you go on your 5 to 7.
Well, I'm not going to know. I'm already planning it out ahead of time. Like next week.
Like Monday.
Like tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm free.
Okay. And this Reddit girl was...
Oh yeah, go ahead.
She was saying like she's bisexual, but she was in relationships. She's been in relationships with both, like long-term relationships.
What's her preference?
Well, her preference is women, but she doesn't have like such a preference. Like she's like dating men now again since she's single. She met like a guy,
And
but she said,
I feel like they're just easier to come by.
yeah. So she said like somebody asked her like the difference of being in like relationships and like, you know, like there was, and she said like the communication is just so vastly different. She said she was even recently dating like a male, like a therapist, and she said the communication is still so much less.
Yeah. Because they
even somebody who knows about communication, it's like not
Right.
even, she just doesn't get that area to the fullest.
Well, it's from a man's perspective still. It's like you can't teach a man really the experience of what it's like being a woman, which is your whole life. You're like overcoming, doing these things, kind of by doing these things, I mean literally having a period.
But
Things
she said
that-
like they're like really far removed from their feelings, and they're inarticulate expressing their feelings.
I think they don't even want to get to know themselves because they've never had to. When things are just given to you and you're on top of the world by virtue of having, you know, a dick, a ding dong.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not even going to call it long because I know a lot of them are very short. But it's like things are just, you know, something not as much as expected from you, or maybe in some instances it is, but it's like the whole world is set up for your success. And I think that's like an underlying layer that women always go through. So it's like something that they'll never be able to understand. And then you're spending the whole relationship trying to explain to them.
Yeah.
Kind of like how to get to know yourself. And this is why maybe I feel this way, but it's impossible to really teach because they can't totally experience it. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I
and I
always
think
end with like, I'm sure there's still good men out there, but I don't know if that's true. I only say that because I have to.
Listen, it's not about good or bad for me. It's about toxic masculinity affects everyone. The patriarchy negatively enforces unrealistic standards for both parties. You know, I think men don't have practice expressing their feelings because they've led with their dick. They've been given up, you know, they were shunned for doing it. So they just don't have nearly as much experience with it. Also, they're probably chemically different. Maybe they can't be as in touch, or there's something different that we don't know. But she said the communication is something that, like, when she's dating men, she just like other things are highlighted unless like the relationship isn't as communicative.
Yeah, I believe that. And maybe some women like that, honestly. Yeah. Maybe it's just like easier for them to be like, okay, I think as long as like they're respected and respected, and the man knows that, like, you know, they shouldn't and don't have a say.
Yeah.
As long as it's a real like matriarch and they have.
Yeah. And nobody wants a man going on and on and on. I'm
no.
like, no, shut up. So yeah. I'm part of the toxic.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? Actually, I don't want you telling me your feelings so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because what do you have feelings about? It's like no, everything is like my issue. It's all falling on my shoulders.
Here we go.
I have to nurture the relationship and both of our emotions and take care of the house and probably work because we still need to work and rear the family. So like no, I'm sorry.
Are we rearing a family, love?
No, not us. But if I was in a different relationship, probably with a man. But that's a lot of responsibility for one person, while the man just gets to fuck off and play golf.
What did I spray on my head?
A setting spray for makeup. You're literally a man. In these instances,
It looked like hairspray. It said stronghold
for your
spray.
makeup.
It didn't say for makeup anywhere on there.
It did.
It didn't say hair.
Right, and I'm just like letting you know that somehow I know what it is.
Well, it sets hair too, so it seems fine.
Okay, yeah. Well, do you like the cream?
I don't know.
Because I actually have something that you might like. It's a to-go hair cream that goes with a spoolie.
What's a spoolie?
It's like a little like mascara kind of wand, but it gets your just enough hairs in place. I know you might like it. I might have to gift it to you.
Okay, I'm getting into cosmetics. Where's my L'Oreal sponsorship? Okay, I'm the next cover girl. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's...
They would be, you know what, Dove, Maybelline,
we'd
cover
be
girl.
lucky
They
to
should
have
come.
you.
Yeah. They could really pop off if they got into some good
face of moi.
Yeah.
Makeup
double team
artistry. I don't know what the A stands for. Well, we
So,
just
but
went to
do
the
you think we
country.
have too much communication though? Because on the flip side, then it's like we're really communicating.
Yeah, no, sometimes sometimes it's like, oh, I cannot beat this anymore. But I feel like we do like a good job of walking away. It's like, okay, that's why it's like I like the idea of an ongoing conversation.
This is what her big trick
Use
is.
that
This is
however
ongoing.
you may.
I don't want to talk about it again till next year.
Yeah, girlies, listen up. This is a tool you should have in your arsenal. Start now, because I wish I could have started earlier. There's going to be lots of conversations that you're going to have periodically, a lot of the same ones in your relationship. Just say it's ongoing and walk away and wait till inevitably the next time it shows up, the next gas bill. Okay, this is ongoing. Let's talk about it again. Both say our points, not really and I feel like that's the big thing about communication and talking in relationships. It's like, it's not always about who's right. You just want to feel understood. I don't know if that's like, it's probably not even a man versus woman thing, but I think in general, it's like nobody has to be right. Like we don't, all have to be
both
correct.
are right. It's different perspectives. So it's like.
And as long as the other one feels like they're genuinely being or trying, at least your partner's trying to understand you because they love you, I think that just goes such a long way.
Who do you think loves you?
I know we all have bad habits. Mine, a heater, a dart here or there, either first thing in the morning or after an espresso martini to really get the buzz to hit. But we all know it's terrible, awful, unconscionable for your health. So you may or may not have heard that the flavored air device category is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking. It's a new and serious movement toward better habits, led by the sponsor of today's episode, Fume. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device. It's not like vaping because there's no vapor. Duh. So if vapor is to red dye 40, fume cores are to a more organic, natural coloring like a beet or a raspberry. You guys get it. With flavored air, you can satisfy your oral fixation and stop sucking your thumb, you sick freak. Fume fills the void ditching a bad habit can leave, and you still have something to reach for. Fume is not a vape. There is no vapor, so you can use it anywhere, and there's no nicotine, so it's not addictive. The flavors are non-toxic. It's a guilt-free alternative. There's no batteries, so it will never leave you on dead, high and dry, not working, and it looks amazing and chic with its weighted, high-quality design. Fume also continuously invests in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, and Fume is backed by doctors in the US, including yours truly, Dr. Baggy. My personal favorite flavor is crisp mint. It's like a refreshing, awakening breath of air whenever you need it if you're too lazy to go outside like me. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. For a limited time, use my code GabbyWindy to get a free gift with your journey pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com and use code GabbyWindy or scan the QR code on the screen to get a free gift with your order today. I'm always struggling mentally, physically, emotionally. You guys know the drill. It's just part of who I am. But routine does make me feel more settled and makes my day a little easier. And a big part of my routine is AG1, baby. That's right. You heard me. Before my coffee, before taking Nardole for his daily walk, so spoiled, I drink a big one of AG1. And I know I'm starting my day off right, no matter how it turns out later, which is truly impossible to predict. AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that delivers daily nutrients and gut health support and is backed by multiple research studies, so you can trust what you're putting into your body. I love AG1 because they believe in science and quality and take a methodical approach to make sure they're coming up with the best formula to benefit our health. Crazy. If only we had the dedication with everything we put into our mouth. Anyways, AG1 has been focused on innovation with a trusted, nutrient dense blend that's the perfect complement to my healthy diet. It's nice. I don't even have to think and trust that AG1 is the best nutritional supplement for me and my health. AG1 has been third party tested for safety for years and is trusted by experts and medical professionals, giving you one less thing to research. Heck yeah, because who has the time for that anyway? I'm always bloated and in a gaseous state pretty much. And at 30 days, 80% of people in a research study notice less gas and bloating by drinking AG1. Say less, people. AG1 is a sponsor of this podcast. If I had to recommend one product to support whole body health, it's AG1. And that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. It's easy and satisfying to start your journey with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/winded. That's drinkag1.com/winded. Check it out. Like, what do you mean?
Who do you think loves you?
Like, not my mom.
Oh, who does love you?
You. Okay, I didn't know if we were fishing.
Your mom. Well,
Babe, I didn't know if it.
Babe,
I didn't know if it was like a
and
philosophical
by the way, your mother
question.
does love you. She just doesn't. She thinks she does love you, but she's a
Babe,
bad
we don't
lover.
have to talk. No,
Okay.
it's like this is for me and Carol, my disconjugate gaze therapist, who I die for.
She's Jewish.
Yeah. What? Okay, so we're fresh off a trip from the country.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is, I'm really coming around to the house.
Oh.
I do. I like it when the HVAC is fixed and up and running. I like when there's not so much raking. I like when
I
there's
hired somebody to rake this year.
yeah, when there's not so much like upkeep or tinkering.
Yeah.
We talked about this, and my girl is dedicated to a life of tinkering and
Not really.
tinkering, and I want nothing but the opposite. If I had no tinkers, I'd be
Yeah,
fine.
You tinker.
I putz.
You do putts.
Yeah, as my favorite thing in the world is to light up a J around 3 p.m. and spend the afternoon
Putzing around.
putzing, just like organizing.
You know that's a Yiddish word.
It's a good one. I'll maybe like switch the art out. I haven't done that in forever. Like move the furniture around and then look at what I've created and rest. But I don't, that happens like once a week max. I don't need a life of tinkering like you and your Porsche.
Oh.
She has a new catalytic converter.
Anything else? Any cues we got? Because I think we covered this yesterday, Lovey.
Well, we're not using yesterday's episode.
Well, we'll use the first half of it.
I just formatted it away.
Why?
I'm in a completely different outfit.
Oh, I thought we were going to keep part of it.
This is no pickups, babe. This is one shot. I wanted to start fresh.
Okay, well, in that case, if they haven't heard about my new catalytic converter, it's still having issues. I think they disconnected one of the cylinders. I got to go in. And if they try and tell me, well, the cylinder has nothing to do with it, all I know is the cylinders were all firing perfectly. Now there's a cylinder misfire as soon as you put in the new cat. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
So that's, you replace one issue with another. That's
the
such
life
the
that
case
she's
of cars.
dedicated to.
No, it's not the life
Yes,
I'm
it
dedicated
is.
to.
Yeah.
In any event.
Okay, well, let's get into it. I whoever's listening who may not be so familiar with Robby, I think you're becoming quite known for your hot takes.
Oh, am I?
I think so.
Is that what somebody said?
Well, no, that's just what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you were reading a question or something.
No,
Oh, okay.
but
Ooh.
yeah, she goes viral on TikTok.
I'm
But she's not even on TikTok and goes
I am
viral.
a TikTok sensation.
Yeah. Well,
But I'm not on TikTok, so find me on Instagram at Robby Hoffman.
okay, so let's see.
Listen to my podcast, the Too Far Pod, wherever you find podcasts. The New York Times calls it addictive.
Okay, I'll start. Well, so these are hot takes.
Yeah.
We can get into them if you'd like. Do you like your co-host Rachel Colley?
Like is a strong word. Are these questions from the internet?
No, they're literally mine.
Oh, okay. That's so cute, baby. You've been doing homework
Yeah.
about me? Like you've been thinking of questions to ask me?
Yeah, of course.
We spend every day.
Give me some.
I love her.
Go get your Now she's so happy for some reason.
For some reason, I'm dating the hottest, coolest girl on the planet.
I'm doing research on my guest.
Yeah, and she's doing research on me. I'm like, what? She could always ask me anything.
Okay, because this is
like
what,
is a listen. We're colleagues.
this
there's
is
a
the
certain
co-host of her
level-
podcast Too Far, and I get this question actually more often than not. If people are like, "Does Robby like Rachel?" and I'm like,
You don't need to like everybody that you work with. You need to
I like
tolerate.
Rachel.
You need to tolerate, and
But
you
I don't
need
know if
to
this is part of the
be.
bit.
You need to be respectful, and we have a very good working relationship,
Okay, that's
and we're working towards potentially a friendship. And why don't you ask me in a year if I like her? I don't dislike her. I work with her. I like you.
okay. Well, would you consider yourself confrontational?
No. Babe.
Babe, this isn't two truths and a lie.
I don't think I'm confrontational. I think I'm opinion. I think people are like mad at me for just being naturally me. But I'm not looking
Nobody's
for any
mad
fights.
at you, baby. No,
People get
love
mad
you.
at me. There's
No, I think that's
WJ
why they
meetings.
love you,
There's
because
lots of
they
things.
also like to like poke the bear and see what they can
So
get
they're
out
poking.
of you.
You know, we live in such a society. You can't even have a conversation anymore without somebody thinking it's a confrontation. These are discussions. These are conversations. Not everything is a confrontation.
Well, sometimes conversations can be a little bit, I guess, confused with. Wait, conversation could be confused with confrontation based on the tone of your voice.
Well, because here's the thing
and you
with
do
people.
talk. Sometimes
No,
you
'cause
do
here's
talk at
the
a little
thing
bit
with
of a
people.
higher octave. So
We have removed conversation from society. What we've done is only allowed for slant and conversation. Even our news media outlets, CNN, Fox, they're not speaking with one another. They're only throwing daggers. And so what that does is it raises the
polarizing.
temperature of everything. So
and
that
that's what people want. It's like you're feeding the fire in that way, because
Yeah.
when you get people excited with like a one-way argument, you have to think like me. Then I think people who don't want to think for themselves, it's easier to identify with. But
I
nobody
agree.
going into these conversations, these debates on the news are like, you know what? Actually, I could be wrong, and this is opinion.
Right, because that's the thing. It's like if you're not for or anti something, they don't even want to air it. If you're if you're having a nuance or you're walking through something that you're trying to figure out for yourself, there's no walkthrough. You've got to have an angle. You've got to be for. Are you with us? Or are
Right.
you against us?
Are you on the other side?
So when you're having natural discussion, even the idea of somebody not knowing, well, where does Robby stand on this or whatever, it's feeling it almost is like we're wanting it to be confrontation.
well, they're
we don't even
forcing
know
you
what
into
discussion
having an
is.
opinion. It's like
And
when
that's it.
people ask things like
And
that.
you can have
like,
an opinion that's not confrontation. Confrontation's got what word in it? Confront.
yeah.
Am I walking up, hey, you.
Babe, sometimes. I don't know. I've seen you yell at people on the crosswalk from
Babe,
from
what am
the
I yelling on the
porch.
crosswalk?
I don't know.
I'm saying hello. Somebody I saw on the street.
No, babe. No. You get a little road rage.
Okay,
from
road
the car.
rage
No,
is another
okay,
topic. These people don't know how
okay.
to drive.
Well, but you have to be careful with
These
somebody
people
else in your
don't.
car.
These
now,
people are
no, now you
purporting-
have precious cargo, and I'm sorry people get shot like that. You're all bark and no bite, and you cannot drive very well. So the road rage cannot be coming from you.
There are people here wanting to take a left from the middle lane. It's unacceptable.
And she's literally
It's
talking
fellas.
to herself.
Fellas, you miss the lights, you get the next one. They can't all be W's, okay? Next. So to answer your question, no, I am not confrontational.
Okay. How would you explain your style?
How would you explain my style? See, that felt confrontational. Babe, how would you describe
No, babe, I get
Oh.
messages on my Instagram all the
You're
time.
saying what? What, baby?
No, I'm literally sweating.
What is this becoming? Some type of roast?
No, it's not. No, it's a compliment. They're always asking where you get your jeans, where
so
you
my
got your
question is this.
So how would you explain your style?
How would you explain my style? And then I'll explain it.
I say your style is like an elevated chic grunge meets dad.
Oh, that's perfect, actually.
Literally.
That's a way to describe it that I wouldn't have had the words myself.
I've spent a lot of time thinking about it.
I think my style is in part nostalgic, in part what fits, and boyish. I think for me, because I wear men's clothing, I am limited to sizes because I'm small. And
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5", but I'm small even for a girl.
Yeah.
Let alone
I think that's
a
average
boy.
for a girl.
It is average for a girl.
Yeah.
But I'm petite also.
Oh my God, bird bones. I can stick my whole diameter of my thumb, to her ankle, my thumb and my middle finger. Look at this. Only in my wildest dreams to my own, I got a kinkle.
Babe, please stop.
Babe, I'm so close.
This is how eating disorders start, guys, please. No. So in any event, it started by by really just wearing what fit me that was on the boys' side. And then it's honed more over the years. It's very slow. The way I acquire things is really slowly. So everything is very it's almost like a casual stroll through my styling. I'll pick up something every so often. This is actually, I'll give them a shout out. They gave me a 10% discount last time. But guys, next time I'm at Fantasy Explosion in New York, they also have an Instagram that is so sick. A lot of their stuff sells out immediately. He's a very good curator and picker of vintage clothes. I got this there. I wear it all the time. I cut a lot of my own things if they are long. But these jeans are vintage Levi's that I got maybe for $30 thrift. But then again, my Golden Goosies, I decided I wanted to feel a little bit obnoxious. And I was so mad at the shoe when I first saw this brand, Golden Goose, because the whole point of it is
to look destroyed,
to cosplay poverty, which I make fun of. And
it's
now
like
that
Burning Man, it's like all these people just show up to cosplay being poor.
But then I was in the mood to be obnoxious.
Well, you got them for half off.
And I got them for half off because I have a hookup. I don't even want to say because I don't want to, but shout out if you're the hookup. Thank you.
And they are comfortable.
I've been wearing them. Half off of these is $300. Full price I would never do as a Jew. Even $300 for a sneaker. But I gotta say, I haven't taken them off my feet. So my style is a mix. It's a mix of new and old, which is very much who I am, I think. And the nostalgic element to it is probably wearing things that I would have wanted to wear when I was younger that I couldn't or wasn't accessible to me because, I was living a girlier lifestyle. But I always flared it a little bit, but I didn't push too hard. Now I just literally, it's slow and steady. And if I really love something, I get something, but I'm not a big shopper.
Yeah. Well, I think that goes not just for style, but your relationship with money too, which I think is important. You got to, find kind of what you're comfortable spending money on and what makes you feel good and what doesn't. I love you have great taste.
Like
and
there's
we've
certain
gotten
things
into vintage shopping, and I I just did an interview last week and they were like, whatever, asking me these questions too. And they're like, what is the difference like between not having money and now having money? Or no, sorry. They were like, how has your style changed, whatever, since you were younger? And I was like, well, just now I have money. So I feel like in that case, I can sometimes wear the things that I have always wanted to, but also doing more like vintage shopping, I feel like it attaches a meaning to it and attaches fun. It's like a treasure hunt. So instead of just like kind of mindlessly like buying things online, what everyone's wearing, like basic bitch stuff, now it's like, your own kind of, and you get
buy less things, but more quality things, but also,
and you get to know your own fashion sense more, because there's a lot more like trying on and like, oh, why am I called to this? And it could be ugly as hell, but if you look good in it
and you feel good, oh my God, that's number one.
I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. And it's what's for dinner tonight. It's what I'm always thinking from the moment I wake up to the moment I finally eat the dinner tonight. It's hard being this deep of a well of thoughts, but I have something that will answer your question and free up some headspace for deeper thoughts, like what's for dessert? Green Chef. Green Chef is a healthy, freshly, and responsibly sourced meal kit that is number one for eating well. Green Chef makes it easy to stick to your healthy eating habits with a new, more flexible menu. Don't waste hours of your life on the New York Times cooking app or Pinterest to find the perfectly balanced, delicious, but healthy meal. Just go to Green Chef. You can even stick to your clean routine all day long with grab and go breakfast and snack options like protein packed egg bites, plant based protein shakes, and nut butter bites. They offer rotating options to suit a variety of lifestyles, including the Mediterranean diet, my fave, and the only diet proven to fight cancer, plant-based meals, and calorie smart and keto diets. Robby and I love to cook together. It's a place where we can connect and feel like we are working hard to nourish ourselves. And we like to try and eat healthy when we can, so Green Chef is perfect for our cooking date nights and takes all the tiresome. You guys know me and always being tired. It takes away the tiresome preparation of searching for a recipe and then going to hunt or gather all the ingredients at the nearest grocery store. Go to greenchef.com/GabbyClass for 50% off your first box, plus 50 free credits with ClassPass. That's code GabbyClass at greenchef.com/GabbyClass to get 50% off your first box plus 50 free ClassPass credits. Nom nom, nommy nom, nom nom nom. That's our cat call to my stepdaughter, beloved Jocelyn, who also goes by Nom for short. We love Nom and her unpredictable, feisty personality, who also just loves to cuddle as long as it's on her own terms. I love a mysterious creature who always keeps me guessing. However, I do not love that we can't tell when she's sick or not feeling well. That's where Pretty Litter comes in. Pretty Litter helps keep tabs on your cat's health. Other than being a top-tier litter and used by Martha Stewart, hello, please say less. It is an ultra absorbent and traps odor instantly, so you don't have that cat bathroom smell. It is also super light, which I love. Again, you guys know the laziness that is upon me, and also minimizes mess and dust. Also perfect for my case of the lazies. The crystals also last up to a month, and that means less scooping and fewer trips to the trash, thank God. But the best thing about Pretty Litter is it changes colors to help monitor early signs of potential illness in my cat, including urinary tract infections and kidney issues. I hate that our pets can't tell us when they're sick. and it makes it easy to miss little things, and Pretty Litter can really give you a peace of mind when it comes to your kitty, so you're not always wondering. Pretty Litter ships free right to my door in a small, lightweight bag. I never run out of it, and I don't have a huge container of litter taking up space and stinking up my house. The only smells around here are lavender and tuberose. Pretty Litter helps keep tabs on my cat's health and keeps odors down. You and your cat are going to love Pretty Litter as much as we do. Go to prettylitter.com/GabbyWindy and use code GabbyWindy to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/GabbyWindy. Code GabbyWindy to save 20% and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/GabbyWindy. Code GabbyWindy. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details.
If I love something, I'm also like, I buy a lot of timeless things, and that could mean something different for everyone. But if I've noticed over the years that I gravitate a V-neck or something like that, I know for me, there's certain pieces that are more timeless. Whether it's, 5 years, 10 years, I've had things 15 years. The thing on the poverty thing, though, too, my style being poorer than I've been, I disagree that money I think Iris Apfel said this, and if you haven't seen the Iris documentary on Netflix, do check it out. She's a style icon, obviously. But style is you can't learn style. Fashion you can buy. Style, when I was really poor and I was only thrifting, I wasn't even, by the way, sometimes I would thrift a pop-off piece like this, or a cool shoe, or a cool belt or something. Very subtle, my belt doesn't look like anything, but it's a vintage Coach belt.
Okay,
no, a new Coach before, but I'm just saying it's $30. So you're thrifting, and the thing is like, when you're thrifting and you're poor, like if you are poor and you're wanting to develop your style and not buy cheap fast fashion, which also can really work. There's a lot of good cheap fast fashion.
I don't actually
thrifting is a really good way if you into fashion
to develop, but also you're not as accessible, because I'm speaking for myself. It's like I grew up in the Midwest. Yeah. You're from two very cool cities, New York and Montreal.
Oh yeah.
So like your influence is much different.
Much different.
I didn't have the money and I didn't have the exposure.
Yes.
So all I knew, with that being said, my third grade me would still wear everything. You have a natural sense of taste, or you don't. But
yeah. I get a lot of that. I think you're born with it. I think it's definitely.
But also people who are born into money, who know exactly what designers are, who know what shapes are.
A lot of rich people have terrible style.
But it is an easier access point to have. Not even just like to have more taste, because you're surrounded by it.
Yes, but you would be surprised.
I'm not surprised.
It's more
we've seen
to me
people
when you've got
riddled
money.
in logos and loud. It's like money talks, wealth whispers. Shout out to Dorinda, season 9 of Real Housewives of New York.
And my money shouts. I'm still coming from a poor, from hood rich.
I don't think so. I think you're really subtle.
Right, which I like though. But sometimes with the car, I do like a little bit of flash. I do.
Maybe it's a 2008.
Yeah, I'm just saying. May I? This is a me question.
Babe, no, I get to talk too. And your car was so loud,
I think
because
a lot
you
of
needed
rich
a catalytic
people,
converter, and Peter was not answering your calls.
What I really want to say about the fashion is actually I find more rich people less stylish than poor people. I think they co-op the poor. This is a co-op brand to look poor, and that's why I felt like even more meta buying this shoe in a way that felt super obnoxious for me, that felt fun, because I don't do it often. But I really believe that fashion is in the heart, style is in the heart of the poor, and rich people really don't have taste as a whole. There are some that do, and they're terrific, but the people that I look up to who have the best taste came from nothing most often. And I again encourage you to watch the Iris doc. One of my big influences style wise, even though we dress totally different, my sister. We grew up on welfare, and Chaya was in, my older sister, shout out to Chaya, was in fur coats that she found at the Goodwill.
Again, this is also your influence. Not saying you didn't grow up poor, but the things that you found around you.
I agree.
I get what you're saying too. I understand like the golden goose and the cosplaying is poor, because if you have taste when you're poor, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, because what you can do when you have money,
rich,
it's gonna go
That's
crazy.
actually like in you, cannot be learned. I completely understand what you're saying. It's also like geographical location. Like growing up in Montreal and New York is huge. Unprecedented, great fashion.
The culture,
like you can find fur coats, great pieces just around there. Growing up in O'Fallon, Illinois, you're not finding anything.
It's brutal. It's brutal. So that's what's the other thing I was going to say. I was in such a culture. We may not have had money and maybe, you know, whatever, the systems we were part of weren't the best. But when you left your house, you were in the thick of a New York, a Montreal. So it was crazy.
So
my
much
sister,
inspiration.
Yeah, we were so embarrassed to thrift. When I was a kid, we had to shop at Village de Valeur, which is like a Goodwill.
It's like Target.
No, it's like Goodwill or the Salvation Army.
But is that actually how you pronounce it, or it's like what
Village
people
de Valeur?
think?
Yeah, it's French.
Okay.
It means Value Village. In Canadian English cities, it's Value Village.
Okay, she just does not understand the Target reference.
I do, and I just went right over it.
Okay, no fun zone. Go on.
No fun zone, because I want to shout out to Chaya. So
babe,
important.
you have.
No, because babe.
No, we love Chaya around here.
She was on welfare, but again, she soaked up exactly what you're talking about. She exposed herself to the city as much as humanly possible. Fine, we got nothing but a pot to piss, and she's like, fuck it. Then I'm spending my days walking around this city. I'm going to absorb what I can. And she had this fur coat. This is her graduating. She got a great red lipstick. This is her graduating high school photo.
It's incredible. She looks like she's just out of Cruel Intentions. Okay.
I'll have to give you this photo to throw on. But it's like, this is somebody, one of the first people I saw.
And her lack of a smile, she will not give if she doesn't want to.
No, the school wanted her not even to wear lipstick or they wouldn't take the picture. And she's like, I'm not taking the picture.
Yeah.
So finally, they were like, well, we can't have a girl missing from the class. So she took the picture exactly how the fuck. She's like, I don't need to be in this damn book.
And that's on the Hoffmans.
She said, then don't take my picture. But if I'm taking a picture, I got to get my red lip on.
Yeah, as you should.
So style is a congruence of everything. One more thing I want to take on style. And I know you asked me these questions. You're thinking they're going to be nothing questions. It's a long thing for me.
I actually never think that with you.
Okay, well, thank you.
I know I have to get in, like, whenever I find just a little moment like this where I can, like,
well, that's why I said before. How would you describe my style? You got your moment.
That's what I did.
And then I came back here.
No, babe, no.
I agree. You're totally right. But anyway, listen. The other thing with style is it's a really relatively affordable way to feel yourself and be in your identity, whatever that is. For me, as like a mask-leaning person, it's non-surgical. It's not invasive, and it's a way to feel yourself in a way that's relatively temporary if you need, and relatively inexpensive if you're willing to be patient and find the right things at the right price. So,
grailed.
It feels like a way to really
go ungrailed.
Yeah, grailed for the hot pieces, Depop.
Yeah.
And whatever local shops. I'm also really lucky now, to your point about living in New York and Montreal and even Toronto, which has incredible style, Canada in general. I'm on the road a lot for comedy, and I do go to all these little towns now, and they're all coming up because thrift has really blown up, which I think was twofold: a necessity for cheaper things, and also the excess of capitalism, and the style and whatever. So all of it came that thrift. I get to stop at a bunch. If I have the day off and I have shows in your city, which, by the way, check out Robby Hoffman on Instagram. We got a theater tour coming up, but
When's
likely
that?
in Canada. We're gonna do a my first theater tour in Canada.
And this is what it's like.
home.
Sorry to bring it back to us, but you want to move in right when you go on this theater tour.
No, don't worry.
Because
so
who's going to be settling the house?
Babe, I'm settling
Who's going to be
everything.
putting in the lights that you
Believe
promised?
me, I'm putting in
I
the
don't
lights.
know. I don't know. I don't know if there's time. This is something we need to think about.
I'm telling you
An
right now,
ongoing
I get to go to all
We
those
can-
little spots.
We can
and
circle
I get
back.
To thrift.
Okay.
I get to thrift.
We understand. We get it. Okay. Queer baiting. I don't have a problem with it. Maybe unpopular opinion. I think it's more on them than on me
It's
as
just
a queer.
embarrassing. Yeah, I have no problem
Right.
with it.
It's like people, I feel like you catch on, you know when it's happening, and it's like,
If
okay,
you're
this
not gay
doesn't
and you're
bother me.
pretending to be gay,
Right.
it's like beyond embarrassing, and everybody sees it.
And it doesn't do you
Not
any
just
good.
gay
It's
people.
actually still easier to be successful when you're straight. Imagine that. I mean, but it doesn't, like, it just doesn't bother me.
It's more embarrassing when boys do it, like a Harry Styles. For me, because boys are just so embarrassing. They're really grasping.
See, and this could be a double standard because
don't
maybe
mind.
it's a little bit of a devil's advocate, but I don't mind seeing a feminine man. I don't know.
mind seeing a
I don't
feminine
know
man.
if that's queer baiting.
No.
Is he queer baiting just by
Listen, all
wearing
Jewish men
dresses
are
or whatever?
feminine men. I have no problem.
Yeah. So, but does he sing about kissing boys and stuff?
He's very big on queer baiting in an overt way.
That's what people say.
Like
but
if somebody
I don't
asking his
know.
sexuality, he goes, it's for me to know.
Yeah, but he's like publicly with women.
I know, but he's
so
like,
it's
I don't want to
cares?
comment on that.
Yeah,
things
no,
like
it's
that.
just interesting. But I feel like a lot of the queer baiting is less to gay men and more to gay women.
I agree that it's more of it, and also it's like, guys, being gay is not good. Like if you have
no,
the chance
people
not
aren't
to
gonna
be
like
gay,
you more. They're really just like gonna like you less.
Yeah, it's like not good.
Yeah,
It is like better to be straight if you can. I wanted to be straight. I happen to be living the best queer life you could live because I nabbed Gabby, but that's a 1 in a million. Every other relationship, way worse probably.
Yeah. I mean,
Like this is the best that gay gets.
thank you, baby. I
Everything
agree.
is-
Right. It's like, it's good for us because obviously we're attracted to each other and we're attracted to women. But as far as like a professional standpoint, like if you're not gay, you don't have to be gay. You're already successful.
You think if I came out straight, love, people would like me more?
Yeah.
Hey, fellas.
Good luck.
DMs are open, fellas.
You start wearing corsets.
Babe. Babe. What are you suggesting? Babe.
Hey, but if you want to date the men,
I have to get skinnier.
if you go the other way,
So I have to get skinnier.
But imagine
Wait, babe, is this your way of telling me you want me to be a little bit skinnier?
why? No, I'm just saying corsets are a very like feminine thing to do if you're like gonna be attracted
is
to
corset
men.
the thing around your waist?
It's like the tie. It's like a shirt that's like ties in the back.
So you want me to wear this?
That's not what I was saying. It's a joke. If you start dating men, okay.
Carmen asked me today if we want a third.
I don't want to talk about this.
Do you want a third?
No, I don't want to talk about
Why?
straight men.
Would you want a girl?
No, babe. Don't even play. It's just like this is a bit. We're not open. We're never gonna be. And that podcast I listened to with that one therapist that you hated, the host was kind of brutal. Remember we listened to it back and forth on the way to Malibu.
Okay.
And it was kind of dry, but she was like, and I've said this before, like our brains are literally wired for monogamy. So like not kink shaming, not shaming anyone
I'm kink shaming.
who's into poly, but I think it's something that's actually been fed to us probably by the patriarchal society.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh, it's okay for us to entertain all of these things when it's like, no, the benefit actually comes from like bonding and feeling very safe with your partner.
And in the end, all the poly couples, it's the guys who are freaking out. They're incapable. Like, guys pretend like they're not jealous. Like, they just want all the girls. As soon as their girl goes with another guy, like, it's over. They cannot handle.
Even the like the or gay couples I've known, whatever, who like are wanting to bring in a third. I feel like there's like one is just screaming for attention.
Yeah.
From the other one that will not give it to them. So
Do
then
I give
they
you
want a
enough
third.
attention?
Yeah. Did I give you?
Yeah, you're getting used to having attention from me. Something we talked about.
Yeah. Well, I do like it.
I love it.
Who is the most famous person you've met? And who is the worst famous person you've met? Do you feel comfortable saying I can bleep it?
Yeah, the most famous recently is probably Larry David.
Oh, yeah. He was great, you said.
Yeah, he's a lovely man. Maybe Edward Norton was my favorite just because I heard that he can be tough to meet, but he was just a doll to me.
Does he own all those coffee shops?
No, he was in American History X and Keeping the Faith and Fight Club. He's just, I think, just like one of the greatest actors, and my family loves him. Who was the worst famous person I met? And I just met Rosie and Kathy Griffin. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. The worst famous person I met.
That's okay if you don't have an answer.
Hold on. Don't have an answer.
Okay, that's
I don't
great.
think any have been horrible, but I don't.
Totally.
I'm not like.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I'm friends with Sarah Silverman, and she's the fucking best.
What is your favorite thing about your girlfriend?
I was just talking about this today. She smells so good. It's not like a perfume thing. Just like literally, if I'm kissing you, I'm also smelling you. If I'm like I'm just always smelling and grabbing her. Just because her skin and her whole body and her cheeks, everything smells. She's literally like a baby.
This could be an example of pheromones.
Yeah, it must be pheromones because I literally die when I'm around you. Like, I just love being around you just because you're literally, I want to like cuddle. Like, it must be like when a kid has like their favorite a blankie or something like that. I never had that, but you're like my blankie.
Babe, that's so sweet.
Come get you.
I have been told that before.
Oh.
So maybe I know, babe.
So crazy.
No.
Guys, you see what's happening here.
Okay. Let's move on to answer some questions, shall we? Okay.
She's in her host voice.
A couple questions from the audience.
Oh.
Why does my boyfriend put his phone on airplane mode when he sleeps over my place, or
I
turns
didn't
his
hear
phone
what?
off when he falls asleep?
Did you keep the what from yesterday? No. What?
What?
Wait, can you explain? To
What?
Gabby's been like trolling me recently because whenever she says something like
You literally just
crazy, I'm just like, what?
No, it's because I don't know if you're actually hard of hearing or
Wait,
if you just have, or if you have selective hearing. Either way, I do think we should plan on getting hearing aids early. Me and you both. I have tinnitus chronically. There's a chronic ringing. Mine could go. I'm one concert away from not being able to hear in my right ear.
Babe,
I don't know what's going on with you.
Earplugs.
But Robby can. She only hears when she wants to hear and when she's ready. She has to be at the right place at the right time with an open mind. Rare, as you might imagine, to have all these things aligned. So I'll just be saying something like this, and she'll be, what? What? What?
Babe.
Oh, it's my favorite thing. Okay, so here she goes. She's gonna have to listen.
No, but
really
literally
carefully.
what? I didn't hear this.
See, here she goes. I said that I thought we should do impressions of each other. No, that's another one. No,
Babe, you want to do impressions of each other because you want to get away with anti-Semitism.
babe, that's not anti-Semitism.
It is to do an impression. Do your impression of me.
Please,
Put
I'm
the phone
an
down.
ally.
Do your impression of me, and I'll do one of you.
Listen, fellas, it is what it is. I do it like this, and you do it like this, and it is what it is.
You talk like my mother a bit when you do it.
No,
do
because
I talk like her?
Well, sometimes you do the.
No, I don't.
Yeah, listen, fellas. I love it.
She's like, I don't know. This is like Gab. Anywhere we go, could be the nicest day of all time. We were on the beach recently. Secret private spot.
We did mushrooms at this little tiny beach area. Very cute. For some reason, we packed to be there for 8 hours. And then Robby nicely provided us some mushroom tea. I felt like I was trapped.
Literally, we could have
time.
had, literally.
It felt like an episode of Traders, getting there.
Oh, yeah, that was it. We're going to the beach.
Well,
we're going to Paradise.
She's like, we needed a map and a legend to actually find the place.
We had to find the place, and we're like going down the stairs to the beach, and she's like holding a bag, and she's like, it feels like I'm on Traders doing a challenge again. I'm like, going to the nicest place on earth. It doesn't matter. Like, we could be at the nicest restaurant. She's like, I'd be like, how's your cocktail? She's like, I don't know.
Not honestly true, because this is going to kind of make me sound like a spoiled brat. I just tell the truth.
No,
is what
I
it
know,
is.
but nothing gets you.
Sometimes
I'm
a good
excited.
restaurant can have a bad martini.
No, exactly. But no, can I do my impression of you?
Okay, well, go.
I don't know. Hey, babe, do you want to go to a movie tonight?
I always want to go to a movie.
Okay, no, I don't know. You know what?
Okay,
Cut this.
babe, all you had to do was blur.
And they're blur. Hi, baby. Today we're doing a TikTok. What? No, it's easy.
We do have to do a TikTok after this. We looked at a place yesterday, which I don't know if we're ever going to go see it. We were just, I don't know, feeling egregious out of our price range. And it had a huge blur-dur.
She was like, oh,
blur-dur. Blur-dur. Okay.
Play his question again. I can't hear.
Okay, you have to listen. See, this is what I'm saying.
But my hearing is off.
Okay. Come get closer.
Get your easy.
Why does my boyfriend put his phone on airplane mode when he sleeps over my place, or turns his phone off when he falls asleep? I know the answer, but I'm delusional.
He's cheating.
I'm delusional. I love how she knows.
He's cheating.
Yeah, no, you gotta, if you know and you already know, you gotta go in, guns blazing, corner him and say, give me your phone.
That's it.
And
Done.
he's gonna say, no. And you're gonna say, give me your phone.
And that's it.
And
have you not asked him about this? Like, people, like, this is like that thing that's like, we're thinking we're talking about stuff when we're not. Like, you would ask me in 2 seconds if my phone was always off.
Peering into your your phone 24/7.
By the way, I don't know why. Has anything interesting ever happened?
Never,
on my phone?
but I'm nosy as fuck. I do it to my friends too, and they're like, "Excuse me." I'm like, I cannot
ask me.
I can't take it because it's right in front of my face. I'm actually not that nosy. I do not care what my neighbors are doing. I don't care how they're parked. One time I had a driver pick me up from the airport, and he was talking about his neighbor and how they're all up in his business, and I was like, could never be me because I'm so lazy. This is also the same guy who gave me all of the ingredients out of the front seat for sag paneer.
Babe.
And I came home with these insane ingredients, but I'm like, it just could never be me because I'm too lazy. But if you put your phone right in front of my face, you bet your ass I'm gonna lurk.
She's
come
working.
on, let me see.
Yeah, no, he's cheating. Next.
Yeah.
Weirdo. Like anything that's weird is weird. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, this is
like,
one.
why do you ask? Like, is this thing weird?
Babe,
it's weird.
She knew. Cause she
I really
she was
feel bad that I
delusional.
didn't get a good impression of you, but I can't do a good impression
okay.
of you. I have
No,
friends who do great impressions of you.
I don't like those. I'm gonna
Okay,
tell
well,
you.
they're good.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious, what are your thoughts on referring to a packer or a strap-on as a cock?
Love
a packer
it.
or a what?
Strap on.
Yeah, it's a cock.
Yeah, we do.
Some kind of a dick.
Give me some.
Ooh, she likes that
But
big D. Actually, she doesn't.
No, she
And
doesn't.
she's actually Goldie Cox and the 3 dicks over here because the one we had, she wanted small. When we went to pick out one together, I was like, are you sure? So we go this. I basically already have this naturally. Anyway, we do it. And she goes, she wants bigger. I get the bigger. It's too big. So now she's on the bill for one in the middle.
We'll see.
So we'll see if she gets it.
The small one works just fine, honestly.
Do you want a strap tonight, Lovey?
This is also something that we've been doing. which is like, we'll ask if we want to. Yes.
And here's the thing, because it was the kind of thing that I think we both thought we were talking about sex all the time. And then we learned, like, we think we're open, but we actually never talk like, do you want to have sex? Like, it feels so awkward for me to say that. I guess I've never been open like that, but you love it. Like, I've never said that because it's always felt just too shy. But that is what talking about sex is too. Just like communicating with your partner.
Like, and talking about sex it's uncomfortable. We don't do it enough as a society. It makes you very scared and vulnerable. Robby hates when I say vulnerable. She's like, does it just remind you of The Bachelor? And I'm like, but there's really not another word like it. Yeah. But it's uncomfortable, and you have to know that going in. Yeah. It's like, it's not awkward until it's awkward, and then it's like, okay, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but no, everybody's in the room is uncomfortable.
You know what I haven't done in a minute because we've been strapping
everybody's
a lot?
Uncomfortable.
I
talk about healthcare all the time. I'm a washed up nurse and always at odds with our healthcare system. Like, it's impossible to even sign up for health insurance. And then after you have it, you have no idea what to do with it or how to use it to find a doctor. So you sit on the phone for hours, hoping that one day you'll be able to get that sketchy mole on the back of your arm checked out, or finally address that little lump in your breast that your girlfriend feels when you hit second base. Let's talk about Zocdoc, something that we've needed for a while that can decrease the barriers of getting you in the door of a doctor. It's scary, but we have to do it. We have to take care of ourselves. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click to instantly book an appointment. Hello. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health to eye care to skin care and much more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance. Always such a hassle to call every doctor's office in LA to see if they take your knockoff health insurance. But now there's a filter. Doctors who are located nearby, who are a good fit for any medical need you might have, and who are highly rated by verified patients. And thank God, because Yelp is not cutting it. Plus, Zocdoc appointments happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. I use this, and you should too. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/GabbyWindy to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/GabbyWindy. ZocDoc.com/GabbyWindy. And that's GABBYWINDEY.
Hi, Gabby. My name is Natalie. I'm a huge fan. I need some advice from you. I just started dating my best friend from college, and we just graduated this past spring, so we're long distance. I just found out, like, a couple of weeks ago when I was snooping through his phone that he actually had a thing with his other best friend from home, and they had been sleeping together all summer, had been sending hearts back and forth. Like, they basically dated just without the label. And I know he cut that off before dating me, and now we're official, and she knows about us. But should I be concerned that they're still, like, close? They don't hang out one-on-one, but they're in the same friend group. And it makes me uncomfy, and he doesn't even know that I know about their history.
Here's the thing, fellas. Here's the thing. Okay, you're not best friends. He's not best friends with you, and he wasn't best friends with her. He's a pervert. Okay, men and women are not best friends. The only case that they are is if the girl is a troll, if she's hideous, or she's a lesbian. Those are the two times that, and she's got to be a masked lesbian. She's not a Gabby lesbian either. Okay, she's me and my friend Carmen. That is the only acceptable. I am the only girlfriend he is allowed to have. Okay, so this guy was not best friends with you, and he's not best friends with us. He's hard as a rock for you and hard for her. That's not such a friend. Okay, so unless the girl is hideous, yes, be concerned. Okay. And she's obviously, you know, and even if she's hideous, he could be attracted. Basically, dykes only if you want to have a friend. And yes, it's also concerning that you don't know so your best friend said you don't know who he dated. Make it make sense. Do best friends not know they're dating?
I don't know where no notes, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't think that people can be friends with other people of the opposite sex.
No, it's inappropriate.
No, especially not if you dated them. And how do you know the messages are so recent that you can see that they've been sending hearts to each other? They dated like a year ago or something.
Are they still sending hearts?
She found out they were. I don't
Recently
know.
Or a long
My
time
text
ago?
messages delete after 6 months. I don't have the data for that.
Yeah, here's
so
the
it's
thing.
like this feels like a little more recent. How do you find this out just from snooping if it was that long ago?
You know what his long game is? He makes everyone he's dating feel like they're best friends, and then he moves it to something
Where are you
more.
getting this best friend thing?
She said, I recently started dating my best friend, and then I realized he dated at home his other best friend.
Oh, is that what she
Yes,
said?
play it again. It's ridiculous.
Hi, Gabby.
This is his
My name
move.
is Natalie. I'm a huge fan. I need some advice from you. I just started dating my best friend.
Wow. Oh, you're so right. This is important information that just went right over my head. Yeah, this is his move.
This is his game.
Everyone is his best friend. I do not trust men with a lot of girl best friends because you know what he is? Gay.
A pervert. Oh.
Tomato, potato.
Yeah, he's
you're
one of the
gay and
two.
you're a pervert.
He might, okay, if he's not gay, he's a pervert.
Literally. Okay, baby. We like to end around here.
Oh, that's it for me.
Well, no, there's another segment where we talk about who we've been looking up to, you know, as a girl in your world today.
Is this a new segment?
Yeah, it's called Queen of the Week. I talked about Taylor.
Oh, okay. So who
And then I
recently
talked
we've
about
been
Sylvia.
looking up to?
You in particular. Who's been really inspiring to you? Because we're for the girlies and the gays and whoever the fuck else wants to listen.
Listen,
honestly.
I'm not political, and I think she's establishment.
I knew you were going to say this.
I am going to say Kamala just
Yes!
because you're asking me for the week. And I got to give credit where credit is due. I am not an establishment Democrat until they start working for the people and stop working
Somebody
for
did call in
corporations
and ask
banks.
if you were a Trumper.
No, I'm really anti any Republican Democrat unless anybody who's pro bringing the government back to working for the people and not for companies. Yes.
Yeah,
Kamala so
100%.
far is still very in bed with corporate money and corporate lobbyism. So I don't know how much. That said,
We're never going to have any other options unless Bernie Sanders decides
yes,
to run
I was
again.
a Bernie. Yes, and he's too old and he's not doing it and he's tired and we must let him
my God,
relax.
he's got to be tired.
He's so tired working for the people, but he's one of the few working for the people. But why I give it to Kamala, regardless of where you stand politically, is this bitch has come into her light. And what I mean by that is she has stepped the fuck up. It was interesting because Kamala, when she was in Congress, was such a badass. You can watch her tapes on the Kavanaugh case. Her questioning was just spitfire, incredibly brilliant, sharp. And then for the first time, she was working under someone. You know, she was a prosecutor, which I really have bad feelings about, people putting people away for jail as a job. It's not my favorite thing. I'm not, but she was a boss. She was a prosecutor. Then she was Congresswoman boss. And then she had to take a back seat. And we saw her fumbling easy questions. She was making gaffe after gaffe. She was like a bumbling idiot, even though that wasn't her.
Well, it's 'cause
and
she
now
didn't
that she's
have
a
any of
boss
the control.
again.
Yeah, exactly. When you're
Now
in
that she's stepped
somebody
in.
else has the light, and then you have to yield to whatever else is going on. You're like, I just have to make everything okay for him. This isn't about me, and I have to kind of play along because that's your role.
Yeah,
I
she's
feel like,
a
as vice
natural
president.
boss, and she was going against the grain, being in the vice seat, and it totally destabilized her. It's like me. I can't work for anyone. I have to work for myself.
Same.
She is that person
Well,
that
not
she
even.
can
I
be.
actually did great. I really can take direction well. I'm very passive and I'm a hard worker. But
You're not very passive, but you are a hard worker.
I like I like to listen to myself and be the one in control because otherwise it's hard to speak up. And honestly, it's not your job to. If you were the vice president, you're not the president. So she kind of had to wait for her moment.
Yeah, and
to
she
shine.
had this bumbling guy, and she wasn't sure her role. She was her whole practice is being a boss. If your whole practice is being an employee, you might be very good at being an employee. That's just not her role. Her role is a boss. Not everybody wants to be a leadership role. Not everybody can be a boss. But she excels in that. What's that?
We should look at her chart.
Okay, so anyway, but she has stepped into her light, and regardless which side you stand on, she is really commanding this. She's taken it by the reins, because as soon as they announced her, I go, oh no, but she's been bumbling. And then you know what?
Yeah.
Well, I love to be proven wrong. She stepped the fuck up into it, and she's made a very positive campaign. There feels like a positivity and a fun lightness to it, which I am enjoying.
Well, she's really embraced.
Whereas Trump, it was so fun to watch him after the shooting embrace his gangster personality, but he became like a real let's fucking go. I was like, this G is a gangster.
No, I hate
and that
to
was
say
just
it, but
so,
after the shooting, it did unite the country. It was like being at a football game. It's like no matter your political views, you stand for the national anthem, and it brings tears to your eyes.
Yeah, this is exactly one of those historic
Even
things.
The people
all the
who
time.
were almost making fun of the shooting and stuff, I feel like everybody was like, okay, this is crossing the line.
Yeah.
Because
it's one of those things that it's history.
Violence.
It's everybody's history. And Kamala is history. And it's everybody's history. It doesn't matter which side you're on. Kamala would be the first Black Indian woman. And she's really articulate, which we didn't get for 4 years because she was fumbling in an employee position, because she's really a boss. She's main character energy, we realize. And when you take somebody from their energy, they cannot operate.
Right.
So she's now...
but she also has her head in the game.
And can I say something crazy?
What?
She's fuckable. This country likes a fuckable president. Say what you want. I think Hillary suffered not being...
This is the hot take,
not
you
having...
guys.
My take is this. My take is the reason Pete Buttigieg did good and Hillary ultimately lost was Hillary gets fucked. We know that she's the bottom. She stayed with Bill Clinton after he cheated on her. She was walked over. She kind of put herself in an unfuckable position. Kamala fucks. She looks good. We know Trump fucks. Proof is in the pudding with the 19 kids from different moms.
I don't know, but don't look at my face
Clinton
when I was doing
fucks.
that. I was really thinking about something else. I was smiling at you and nodding when you said Trump was fuckable, but I didn't
Trump
mean it.
Fucks. I just mean that we need some sort of a sex
He really fucks.
appeal. We
what
require
I mean.
a sex appeal in our
Not
leaders.
consensually. That's
And
what I was
unfortunately, Hillary didn't have the
in
sex
our
appeal
country,
that Kamala does.
Yeah, that's why we love these big stars who become president, and you have to have a huge presence about you. You need to be, and even to get on that platform, you have to be good looking.
There's a sophistication to carrying yourself a certain way, to looking good, to investing in
those suits
yourself
aren't cheap.
that speak volumes.
Yeah. You know who I'm
and I
really
think ultimately
into now
it hurt Bernie Sanders. I mean, I think for a certain zaddy constituent, he was fuckable. But I don't think he leads with enough sex appeal.
No, I actually don't think he was fuckable at all.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
so there you go.
I was here for it.
And Pete Buttigieg, the last thing I wanted to say was, the reason a gay man could even run when he ran and had this is because he's a top. It wasn't Chasten, his husband, getting fucked in the ass running. I think if we had a feminine gay man, this country would be a lot harder to come around.
No, nobody would have that. And only if the Republican Party literally never existed.
Literally. So I think
But also, what I was going to say is who I'm really into is Doug. Oh my God, a TikTok star. Him and Kamala seem so genuine.
We got the Jews in the White House.
Oh
the
my
Jews
God.
have arrived. Of course, the first person we would have in the White House would be the first ever husband.
He just seems so supportive and actually like a perfect supporting character.
He's amazing.
Like he's so happy to be by her side when they like kiss, and he's always on her nerves, and he doesn't seem performative at all. Like he just really seems
The Hoff
like
is in the house. The Hoff is in the house. Of
Yeah.
course, the Jews. We've never had anyone in the White House. We have the first,
What's his last
second
name?
gentleman, M. Hoff.
Oh, that I was like.
We have the
I just
first.
know
Well,
him by
you've been
Doug.
drinking out of a mug that
I
my
know.
friend Sean sent
Maybe
me.
I'm gonna release our vlog one day of when we went to the country house, and on the vlog I was like, "Which mug? Who's gonna take who?" And I was like, "Who the fuck is Doug?" Robbie can have Doug. Fell in love moments
I was
later.
like, babe, this is Doug Emhoff. Sean, shout out to Sean Gerard, my my friend
babe.
in Toronto, who got me the Doug Emhoff.
Okay, on that note, where can we find ya? Thank you so much for coming.
You can find me at Gabby's house because God knows we're not probably leaving this anytime soon as the days and the search wanes on.
I can switch
am
this room to the back. and
babe,
you can
please,
have
I
this
don't
room.
want this
That's-
room.
that's
I don't
my-
want
that's
this room. I don't want
Babe,
this
it's
room.
a bed.
Babe, I don't want this
It's
room.
a
I
great
am Robbie
room.
Hoffman. Follow me on Instagram for all my dates. Look out for my first ever theater tour. I think I'm going to bring it home to Canada for that. You can listen to my podcast, the Too Far Pod, wherever you find podcasts. Again, the New York Times calls it addictive. Top 25 by The Atlantic. Thank you so much,
Thank
Lovey,
you,
for
baby. I
having
love
me.
you. I
love
think you're the
you.
funniest, smartest, amazing
Hope this
person.
edits
and
together okay.
I'm so
I love you.
I'm so glad you're my
Ditto
girlfriend.
for all of this.
Okay. Love ya.
She smells good.
What?
Babe.